let's just do cheers. Okay, cheers. Yeah.
I actually thought you were joking.
Yeah, I know. And when I said Chateau Taisetsu no Kura,
Yeah.
yeah. So I got this because this is in a wine bottle,
Yeah.
and I thought it was wine at first, and then it says Chateau. I'm like, oh, this is totally wine. Taisetsu no Kura? What? Yeah, Junmai Daiginjo.
You know, I think maybe this is the I forget what you call it when your body is just like tricking you into thinking something. I feel like this has got a hint of a wine taste.
Yeah,
am I crazy?
It's definitely your body tricking you. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like let me check it out. So this is oh cool. Chateau Taisetsu no Kura is not important Kura. Taisetsu no Kura is the big snow Kura. So that's actually an actual name. But here, let's see. Hokkaido san shuzo kouteki mai ni kodawari. Yeah, there's no wine stuff in here. It's just rice.
I really like this flavor, by the way.
It is good though. Yeah,
it's really tasty.
It's very rich.
Yeah.
I mean, this is supermarket stuff, but it's still more expensive in the supermarket. But yeah, so one thing though I wanted to talk about this is that, you know, I see this in a lot of things. When things in Japan try to appear to be high class, they tend to take on airs of European stuff, or particularly French stuff. Yeah, you know,
you see that. I think like the thing that really stands out is bakeries.
Yeah,
like it's so rare to see like just a bakery here. Mm-hmm. Like just, hey, we're a bakery in Japan. It's always got like some like like French word written on it. They literally put a French flag on the like the name of the store most of the time.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll have like some like generic like Paris music playing, and then everything will have like be written in like a really flowery font and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's like the major JR station bakery chain is called La Vie de France. Yeah. You know? And it's funny because when my sister came and visited us last month, she said on multiple times, she said, you know, Japanese people really like French things. There's like French stuff everywhere. And like for the high class stuff, it's all French, you know?
Yeah.
If there's a perfume or a high class shop, there's always a French name on it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
But one thing that was interesting is, so I read, there's a book called Dogs and Demons, which is a critique of modern Japan. It was actually a pretty critical book written by a foreigner who's lived in Japan for like 60 years now. And it was written in 2000. And a lot of the things he talks about in 2000 have changed since then.
Yeah.
But one of the things he said was interesting was the sake industry in Japan is failing because they're trying so hard to be more European. Like they focus on glass bottles, trying to appear more wine because wine is associated with high class. So they try to look more like wine. But he actually worked with some dying brands overseas. And one of the ways that he got them to sell was by having them sell their sake in the traditional, not porcelain, but the traditional pottery vessels that they used to have.
It's mind-boggling to me that they're trying to imitate wine.
Yeah.
It's like sake is not wine. It's its own thing. Like, why would you not want to just have like this unique thing? Mm-hmm. Like, if you just try and copy wine, you're not wine. So wine's always going to be better than that, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah. You know, the thing though that was interesting for me is so for Valentine's Day, I was looking for a place to take Natsumi. Was it Valentine's Day or our anniversary? I don't remember which, because they're only 4 days apart.
Sure.
But I was looking for restaurants to go to, and I was looking for a nice French restaurant.
Sure.
She likes French food. And that was like 2万yen per person or something on average, which is not cheap, but it's not super, super expensive. But when I looked up like the Japanese restaurants, they were like 5万yen a person. And I'm like, what? This like, because in my mind, French food is seen as like something really high class, but it's the Japanese food that is so much more expensive than the French food.
I I couldn't tell you which YouTube channel I was watching. That there's a few YouTube channels that I follow about they're Japanese people who either grew up in the US and moved back to Japan, or moved to like a different country and then moved back. So they're fairly familiar with like foreign culture, and they speak better, like they speak fluent English. But they're Japanese, right? And they these channels like focus on them like talking about Japan, and like one of the comments that they said is how common it is that Japanese people actually don't like Japanese food, or they don't eat Japanese food all the time, and it's like kind of like a rare delicacy for people. And that I just watched it like a few days ago, and I remember stopping the video and being like, huh.
Well, I'll tell you, man. Since getting married with Natsumi, I eat bread a whole lot more than I did when I was single living here. You know,
I'm the opposite, man. I used to eat bread a ton, and now I just like almost always eat rice.
Yeah.
Well,
and
that's crazy.
Yeah. So
I miss bread.
I mean, how do you say you miss it? You can get it anywhere.
I know, but like, you know what I mean?
You miss America, cheap Wonder Bread, and how we should do a video on how the difference between bread in the States and in Japan.
Yeah.
That not today, but we'll do that another time. Because today, what are we going to talk about?
So we're going to talk about like stuff that you buy in the US like regularly.
I thought we were going to do slang. We're going to do that next time.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. My bad. I mixed up the episodes. That's next episode.
Yeah.
This episode, I was thinking the other day, because I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like the primary thing I do on the train when I'm commuting. And I'm going to sound like an old man for saying this, but a lot of the YouTube channels that I watch have like really young people. And
like when you say young, you mean like 20 years old?
I mean like 18 to 25.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And specifically the ones who are like more kind of towards the 18-year-old range.
Yeah. Like
there was this one guy's channel that I watched because he plays a game that I really like watching people play. And I can't understand what he says when he's not talking about the game.
Yeah.
Like from the context of like when he's playing the game, like I understand it. So like I know what he's saying. And he's an American.
Yeah.
Like he speaks with the same accent that I speak.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, because of the slang he's using.
Because of the slang. It's actually crazy. And so it really got me thinking. And I would love to know if older generations thought the same thing about us.
Of course they did, man.
But like, I don't know, man. I feel like we didn't change as much words as they did.
Oh, no. Well, no, we definitely did, man. So there's a lot of slang that we use that people in the older generation didn't use. Like one thing that is not, I mean, I guess to me it's slang.
Yeah.
But calling something like on point, like, oh man, your tie is on point, man.
You know, there's a lot of slang that I picked up.
Yeah.
From the military.
Yeah.
One of them is good to go.
Good what?
Good to go.
Good to go. What does that mean?
Good to go. Like, all right.
I mean, because good to go, like, oh, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
but it's
I'm ready to go, right?
Hey, man, good to go?
Okay,
like,
okay.
And what it means is, like, do you understand what's going on? Like, are you...
Oh, is that what that means? Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
So I say that all the time. I don't... Oh, this is embarrassing. A lot of the times when I'm teaching...
Yeah.
So to give you more context, like when you're going through training, there's like a certain...
Teacher's training.
No. Sorry. This is back in the military.
Okay.
There's a certain way that like the instructors Marine instructors will talk to either recruits or people who have graduated boot camp and are going through their military school. And a lot of the time, just to make sure people are paying attention, they'll start off a statement like, hello, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Right. But they're using hello not as an introduction.
Yeah.
It's hello, like, okay, pay attention
to me. Yeah.
It's like, hello, okay, guys, we're going to do this now.
Yeah.
And so, like, I still do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it's weird. Like, you pick up all these, like, various terms. And then me with my West Coast accent, like,
Yeah,
using
yeah.
like right there, using bro. I was thinking about like
What's up,
all
bro?
the different various like slangs. I still use bomb.
That's bomb. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. What is there any slang that you really notice that you use in your daily life?
Well, yeah. So not necessarily what I use in my daily life, but there are some slang words I use growing up. You know, like keep that on the DL.
Yeah. And so what's that mean?
Keep it on the down low means like don't keep it a secret. Don't talk about it too much. So if you're planning a party for someone, you'd say, hey, we're going to be planning a party for so-and-so, but we want it to be a surprise. So keep it on the down low.
Yeah.
Keep it on the DL.
Yeah.
You know? And another one is, of course, diss, which in Japanese you say dissuru.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
don't diss me.
So there's one man, I hate sounding so old talking about this.
What?
There's
you have to embrace your age, man.
I want to think of myself as young still.
Why?
Dude,
you are exactly in the stage of life you should be in now.
Yeah,
embrace
it's true. But there's one bit of slang that I've picked up that's like the Zoomer lingo, which for those of you,
I'm gonna fix the camera. I just realized.
Whoop.
I know the camera's fine. It's just I just wanted to be more equal. That's all.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So like for those of you know, like when we're talking about generations, like I'm 34. You're how old are you?
I'm 30. What? How? I'm just kidding. I'm 32.
32.
Yeah.
Right. So both of us are part of this generation called millennials.
Yeah.
It means people are basically born like the latter half of the 1980s until 2000.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's basically 90s kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we should kind of because each generation has its slang. I feel like that's where you draw the line between the different. Of course, near the change of near the shift in generations, you have more slang changes.
Yeah.
But basically, so just to catch people up, because in Japan you have like Showa, Heisei, and Reiwa, whatever.
Yeah.
But in so in the States, I think you could really talk about the people born in the 1930s. Who basically served in World War II. They basically came of age during World War II. That's the silent generation.
Silent generation.
They went through the Depression.
Yep.
The people after that, from the 1950s to the late 1960s, was the baby boomers. Call them boomers.
Well, before that, we have was it the golden generation or the?
No. I think that's
the people who grew up during World War II are known as like it's either a golden generation or the greatest generation.
The greatest generation.
I think that's what it is. Because the idea is like they grew up in poverty, they went through the turmoils of World War II, and they kind of like put the pieces of their countries back together.
So maybe the silent generation was before that then.
The silent generation was World War I.
World War I. Okay.
Yeah.
Silent generation was World War I. Greatest generation was World War II.
Yeah.
Baby boomers were 1950s and 60s.
Yep.
Then late 1960s to like 70s to like 80s was Generation X, Gen X.
Yeah.
And then you have us, which is millennials, which is up until like 2000 or whatever.
Yep. Then you have Gen Z.
Gen Z.
And then you have Zoomers.
No, Zoomers is a pejorative term for Generation Z.
Oh, is it?
Boomers. They're like boomers, but they're Generation Z.
That makes sense.
So then you have like this new Generation Alpha.
Is that what they're called?
I don't know. I think so.
I always thought Zoomers were like the generation after Gen Z.
No.
But it makes sense.
You know how nowadays people say, okay, boomer?
Yeah.
We have to describe what that means, actually. Okay, boomer.
All right. So boomer was part of it is a term used for the boomer generation, right?
Yeah, baby
boomers, right?
Yeah.
But the meaning of it has changed. So now it's changed actually a couple times in the past couple years, because it then changed to refer to like usually an old man.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be referred to as an old person, and it's a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're just like, okay, you're old and out of touch.
Yeah, you're out of touch. You don't understand what's going on.
Yeah. But now it's once again changed to be a little bit more specific in that it directly is referred to old rich men.
Older rich men. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I always thought it was just like an older baby boomer who's out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because like back then, it was very easy to get a job.
But like
it was
the
easy to buy a
baby
house.
boomers now, I mean, my parents are baby boomers and they're like fossils. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
but
they are fossils.
They're like really old now.
Well, yeah, because they're like in their 60s and 70s.
70s.
Yeah. The thing is that, so so like just to give people context about why calling someone a boomer is a pejorative, is a bad thing, because back when our parents were coming of age, it was very easy to get a house, very easy to get a job, to live comfortably on one income.
Yeah.
And then, although if you actually talk to our parents, it was a different story in reality, but that's the image that we have.
Yeah.
And so then boomers are basically saying, hey, the reason you can't buy a house is because you drink too much coffee at Starbucks. You need to stop going to Starbucks.
Oh my God. You see these things on the news all the time of like these people saying that like millennials and Gen Z are just lazy and they don't want to work, and like all these things, like all these really negative things talking. Man, we're going to talk about like slang, but I feel like we're talking about like ageism.
No, well, we're talking about the slang term, okay, boomer.
Yeah.
Because they'll hear that a lot if they watch American
for
stuff.
sure. But yeah, so they're like, America is all about tribalism.
Yeah.
And just like we have issues of race, there's also this huge war between generations. And yeah, so like you'll see a lot of stuff talking like really negative stuff about millennials and Gen Z, and then the kind of response to that is calling people boomer. Yeah. And like I said, it basically is a way to reference a person who's older
and who doesn't really understand, because the boomers think, hey, if you just stop drinking Starbucks every day and you save your money, you'll be able to buy a house. But they don't understand that real housing prices have increased like 10 times compared to when they were younger, Yeah. And so that doesn't work. And so in that situation, you just say, okay, boomer. It just means, hey, you're too old. You don't understand. I'm stopping this.
Yeah.
Okay, boomer means.
Yeah. So yeah. I think we've kind of touched on that one.
Yeah. So but you did want to share some.
Yeah, man.
A list of things,
so
because
I wanted to.
Because we're getting older now to the point where there are a lot of slang terms that I hear on YouTube that I don't understand. Like you just shared with me, people would say that's like stop the cap or cap.
Yeah,
cap.
That's like, cap.
Like, what does that even mean?
So and then, I had to look this up because I actually didn't know what cap was. Yeah. So cap is a term that people will use as an adjective, and it means false or lie.
Yeah.
And so that's what they'll say, that's
false.
cap.
Yeah.
Or I mean, you got to stop capping.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff, right? All right, so I'm going to go off a couple of these, and a lot of these are cultural references.
Yeah.
So
we'll try to explain them.
Yeah. So the first one I'm going to start off with is stan.
Stan?
Okay.
Okay, you got to help me with that. Can you use it in a sentence?
Okay.
Stan. Stan's a dude's name.
So I'm gonna talk in terms of a girl.
Okay.
And okay, I went out with my girlfriends last night, and when I left the bar, there was this stan.
Is it like a creepy dude?
Yeah. So it means stalker or fan.
One thing that's really interesting, we have to talk about this, is so there are like archetypes or stereotypes of people that they give actual names to, like Karen.
Yeah.
Like Karen is a girl's name.
So Karen, I would say Karen basically means the same thing as boomer, but it's for a female term, because I will explain why I think that,
I'll
right?
Hear it. Okay.
And because Karen it refers to an older woman who's out of touch with things, and they have a sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
In the same way you would associate a boomer being out of touch and having a sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
That's
so
where I'm coming from.
There's that sense of entitlement, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you look up, funny Karens on YouTube, you'll get so many Karen videos, and the people's names are not Karen. They're just these older, kind of fairly comfortable.
Just describe what a Karen looks like to me.
A Karen is a woman who's in her late 50s, early 60s, who has like hair down to here. Normally it's blonde,
usually white.
Or it's colored.
Well, no, I mean like she's usually white.
She's white. She's a white woman. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and for some reason I just picture her in like these really like cheap clothes that are meant to look good. Like, how in America, like you get guys who buy a cheap suit and it just doesn't look like it fits. Like I see that with them. And she has like a Starbucks cup in her hand, and she just complains about random stuff. She says, like, for instance, she's the type of person who at Starbucks, she said, I asked for extra caramel and I did not get enough extra caramel. Can you put another extra caramel in here because I need extra enough extra?
Yeah.
You know, and start complaining about things.
Yeah, and like the catchphrase of a Karen is "Let me see your manager."
Oh yeah,
Or,
yeah.
Let
yeah.
me talk to
I
your
want to
manager.
talk to your manager.
Yeah.
And like a person who, you know, they get an order wrong at McDonald's,
Yeah.
and then they just freak out and they're like, "Why can't you give me my food?" You know, it's these
Yeah.
people who think that they're better than other people and try to conform other people to how
Yeah.
they are. So if you are in America and an older woman ever comes up to you and tells you that what you're doing is wrong, you have met a Karen.
Yep.
And so a stan is a stalker dude.
So I actually immediately understand the cultural reference to this, and I'm going to
Yeah.
explain it to you.
Okay.
And I feel like you're going to immediately understand too.
Yeah.
So Stan comes from the Eminem song "Stan." Have you ever heard that song?
What can
So
you do like the bridge or something?
yeah.
course.
So basically, there's an Eminem song called "Stan,"
Mm-hmm.
and it's a song about this guy who is like a die fan,
Mhm.
to use Japanese terminology.
Yeah.
And he's obsessed with Eminem,
Oh,
and he
yeah,
writes
yeah,
to
yeah.
Eminem
Oh,
all
Dear
the
Stan,
time,
Dear
and
Stan,
like
yeah.
he eventually like confesses that he's got like severe mental health
Yeah.
problems, and that
yeah.
he's secretly like a gay man who's in love with Eminem,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
you know he kills his girlfriend, and
Yeah.
he kills himself
Yeah.
because Eminem like basically kind of rejects him. Is
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm not gay. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what to tell you. And basically Eminem was writing this because he wanted to like share with audiences like the kind of dark side of being a celebrity.
Yeah.
And that kind of like having to deal with people with really mental
Yeah,
health problems, and like how much of a toll that actually takes on
Yeah.
on artists.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because
Right.
it's like I think there was an interview of Eminem basically saying that this is roughly based on a true story
Mhm.
of a fan writing to
Yeah.
them, and like it's something that like still bothers him that this
Yeah.
person killed themselves over
Yeah, right.
it. But yeah, so basically, yeah,
So that's why Stan is
that's
Stan.
why
that's
the word
why it's
"Stan" is being
Stan.
used
Yeah.
for you here. So I thought
Okay.
that was interesting. Okay,
That's good to know.
are you ready for the next one?
Next one. Hit
All
me.
right, bussin'.
That's bussin'.
That's bussin'.
Oh,
What do you think that
Give me
means?
an example sentence, man.
Oh man, dude, this dinner's straight up bussin'.
It's great. Is that what that means?
Yeah. So let me read it to you.
Yeah.
Something is really good.
That's bussin'.
It's bussin'.
I guess because like the bussin' is in like either the bus is treading along really well or you're bussing tables because your restaurant's so good
I feel
that
like we're those
there's more.
old. Did you ever see like back in the early 2000s when like chat rooms started
Yeah.
becoming a thing, and
Oh,
like
dude, I
the
lived in those
news,
chat rooms.
the news were like reporting on chat room lingo, and like parents, here's what you can do to try and understand how your child is talking
Yeah.
in chat rooms. LOL, like language on location or
What?
something. You never saw those things?
No, I saw those, but yeah, that's not what LOL means.
There were so many people making fun of them because like the news, like legacy media was
Yeah.
like trying to like take online
Yeah.
language
Yeah,
and interpret it,
yeah,
and they were just completely wrong
yeah.
on some of these.
Dude, you know, I'm so out of touch with the world. I've lived here for 10 years. I don't really have friends. I don't really want friends. Talking to young people bothers me. I'm like I'm a crotchety old man already. But
Yeah.
dude, speaking about like chat terminology, do you know what ASL means?
Age, sex, location.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about nowadays, that would be so creepy, but back then, like everybody just talked about that. Like it didn't matter.
Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Dub.
Can you give me a sentence, man?
Oh man. You know what? I got my test back today, and I just got a total dub on the paper.
Shoot,
It was
man.
just a straight up dub. I felt
Does that-
really good.
So that means like you did really well on that?
Yeah. So dub is short for W, which is short for win. So this is a really common thing. This is a really common thing. So man, I'm gonna take a dub on that. Opposite, you can
L.
say I'm gonna take an L.
Yeah. So I found out so that take an L, I first figured out what that meant last year. Because I remember there was like on Facebook or something, I left a comment on something and then
Yeah.
everyone just wrote down L, 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 I'm like, what does that mean? They mean you lose. You're a loser.
No, but that's something that's really common if you watch streams nowadays. If you watch streams in English, you'll see people spamming W and L in chat for different things, right? You know, whether they're playing a game or they're doing, you know, some stream in real life, you know, various situations, people spam typing that. And the chat will be a www or LLL.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, do you know what W means for slang in Japan? Like when you see it? No. That's
whether it's WW?
Yeah. That's in chat rooms. But what I'm talking about is like on a menu, it'll say like W Niku or something.
No. What is that?
It means double. So like it's like the double the meat is W Niku.
I get it, but I hate it.
I me too. I get it, but I hate it too.
I get it. I understand like the logic of like, oh, okay, but I absolutely hate that.
It's like, where's the U? There's no U. You just take the double of it, man.
They're gonna double you in size.
Yeah, basically. All right, what's the next one?
All right, here we go. Finna.
Finna? How do you spell that?
Finna.
Finna. What? Is that like a...
I'm finna go to the mall.
Oh, that's like I'm fixing to go to the mall. Yeah, that's Southern slang, meaning I'm getting ready to go to the mall.
Yeah.
Planning.
So in America, Southern slang is fixing to.
I'm fixing to do
right?
something. I'm
and
preparing
fixing to
to
is like I'm preparing to or I'm planning to.
Yeah.
And then this is just a shorter way of saying that finna.
Yeah.
Okay. Fire.
That's okay. Well, fire.
This is a little bit more millennial.
Because for us we would say, oh, that's hot.
That's hot.
And then that became, which means that's amazing. That's really good. Which then became that's fire. You know, I get that one.
All right.
You got to pick a more outrageous one, man. Try harder.
All right. We're gonna get there, man. We're gonna FR.
For real.
Yeah. What does that mean?
For real means I agree with you. What you're saying is true. For real, man.
Yeah. Ghost.
Oh, ghost is a great one for nowadays. So ghost means you're chatting with someone and you're going to meet with someone or you're friends with someone and then you just disappear.
Yep.
No contact. You just disappear. Maybe
ghosts don't exist.
Yeah, exactly. You disappear like a ghost, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because nowadays, in the States, people are so scared of conflict that instead of having a hard conversation, instead of just saying, "Hey, I don't think it's going to work out," they just disappear.
Cut communication. I had a really hard time with the dating scene.
Yeah.
When before I met my wife, when I became single again.
Yeah.
And I was jumping back into the dating scene, and it's just like that's just like you were saying, that's how just a lot of people interact with each other. Like no one messaged you like, "Hey, you know what? I did some thinking and I just honestly I don't feel like we're compatible."
Yeah.
It's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna delete you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the worst thing that I hated the most wasn't the people who deleted me, because I was actually okay with that because it's like, okay, it's cool, we're done. But I hated the people who stayed like matched with me and then just stopped talking.
Yeah, right. They didn't respond
and I was
anymore.
Like,
what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's like I have to communicate this to my students too, because I have a program where I help my students make friends online and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. They're like, "Yeah, I scheduled a talk with this guy, but they don't respond to me at all. What happened? Did I do something wrong?" I'm like, "No, he's just POS,
Yeah. All right, man. Are you you wanted a challenge? Are you ready?
I'm ready for it.
Riz.
Riz. You got to tell me. So is that an adjective?
The boy has so much riz. He hasn't been single since elementary school.
Oh, riz just means like mote, like he's really good with women. He has a lot of sex appeal.
Yeah, the ability to seduce or charm a potential love interest. So
he has a lot of riz.
Somebody who's just like, I guess like the way I would think of it is charming.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of charm.
Yeah.
Like that's a very old timey way of saying riz.
He's got a lot of charm. You're a charming young man. Riz. He's got a lot of riz. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Ship.
Like a noun? A verb?
It's a verb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example sentence?
No.
Oh, come on, man.
I want you to try and struggle with this.
So the thing for me was ship, right?
So
if it's a verb.
So it's used in a similar context as the verb ship, but it's used with, like, when you think of shipping something, you think of like sending something.
Yeah, right.
So it's still used in the same way, but don't think of it in terms of sending a package, and think of it in terms of being short for something. So to give you more context, this is a really common term when people are talking about dramas from TV shows.
Okay. Dude, you got me lost, because the only thing that I can go to is like shipping out to Boston. Like that
I'm shipping out to Boston.
Yeah, basically that's it.
So no, it's okay. Here's your example. I totally ship Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner.
That means like you really like them and you want to meet them?
What it means is you want those two people to get together.
Okay,
in a relationship.
Okay, give me the example sentence again. Oh, okay. Like a friendship.
No, in a relationship. You
want
them to date.
Relationship.
Yes,
ship.
It's short for relationship. So you want those two people to get together,
to get into a ship, a relationship. Oh,
yeah.
Oh man.
So you want to ship them.
You want to ship them.
Yeah.
I really want to ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about? Do you know like what's the guy's name? Chalamet. What's his first name?
I have no idea who that is.
All of these like younger celebrities,
Who's Timothy
man.
Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet is like the woman man who like all the women love nowadays. He was the guy in the new Wonka film.
I didn't even know there was
a
Wonka
really
film.
skinny white guy with a really small nose and like kind of like frizzy hair.
We gotta stop here for a second. When was there a Wonka film?
Yeah, last year.
What?
Which apparently it looks pretty good. Here,
really?
I'm gonna look this up for you. Ready? So,
oh my god, man, I'm so out of touch. Yeah, I'm a boomer.
No. So you definitely seen this guy. You just don't know his name. So it's this guy, Timothy Chalamet.
Dude, I literally have no idea. Oh, dude, he's the guy in Dune.
Yeah, he's the guy in Dune. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He is like the modern day like Leonardo DiCaprio kind of guy.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, back when Leonardo DiCaprio was young and kind of like a sex symbol. That's him.
That's this guy.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet. And he's always like, I don't know. He's like super skinny and like looks like if I just went, he'd like blow away. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Timothy Chalamet. He is the new It actor.
Dude, what? Okay. All right. How about Gap? Whoops.
What?
I just spilled my sake. Don't laugh. I know you guys commented on Arthur last time.
Oh, yeah. Oops. Oh, yeah,
they even left like a timestamp.
Yeah, I left a timestamp. You know, I love how much you guys like watch this. It means a lot to me, actually. So,
all right, Gat. What does that mean?
How do you spell it?
Gyat.
Gat?
Gat.
Get out of here? that's
You're so wrong. It's funny.
So what does it mean?
What it means? Get out of here. Of course.
Just get.
That's like the chat room lingo with LOL being like I'm gonna prey on your children.
No. But like in the South, people say just go on and get. You know. So that's what I thought of. Okay, what does it mean, man?
Abbreviation for girl. Your body part is thick, and also means, gosh darn it, in another way.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Okay.
The normal way to express admiration and excitement, usually about someone's backside.
Yeah, when they have because there are lots of people who really like the momoshiri that they say in like Japan. So like, if you see a girl that has a nice asset, then you take get.
Yeah. So. Here we go. This one I feel like you're gonna understand.
Okay.
Goat.
Oh, goat. Yeah. So the goat. When someone's the goat, it means the best out of there. But I forget what it stands. The greatest of all time. Yeah.
Around.
Right. So goat is like the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
GOAT. Goat.
Yeah. So this is a really common. You hear this all the time,
yeah.
Especially when you're kind of like listening to like modern social media.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Nantoka person is the GOAT.
Yeah, right. And you know, speaking about online dating, there was a time period where a lot of guys would be shirtless holding goats because they wanted to say that they were the GOAT.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And if I was still single, I would love to do that because this is fun.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Gassin.
Oh, shoot, man. Like that's gassin?
Yeah.
Does that mean like something is really bad?
She's already confident enough. She doesn't need any more gassing.
Oh, okay. So gassing isn't adding more fuel to the fire, making
exaggerating someone else's abilities, accomplishments, or qualities.
Yeah, basically, complimenting them too much or like exaggerating more than reality because she has too much self-confidence already.
Yeah.
So like when you see a girl and you're like, oh, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's not true, but you say that, you're gassing.
So there's another term that I think is like really, really used in English right now.
Yeah.
And it's gaslighting.
Gaslighting,
Do you know what gaslighting means?
Yeah. Gaslighting means basically you lie to the point where you try to try to change people's view of reality.
Yeah.
It's used a lot in like abusive relationships.
Yes.
Where like if a guy hits the girl and then later on says, no, I didn't hit you, you hit yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's gaslighting.
Yeah. It's used in so many different contexts, but that's a really common like phrasal slang that people use nowadays.
Yeah. Let's do one more and I think that'll be good for today.
I'm just gonna like we're gonna go and look at one of the ones in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
Some of these okay, some of these are probably a little easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's probably not okay for the channel.
Okay. Yeah.
There's I think what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna pick the last one.
Okay, go pick the last one.
So what is the last one? A zaddy.
Zaddy?
She found a zaddy as soon as she graduated.
Oh, so zaddy is a combination of daddy and something else. Is it a Z or an S?
Z.
I would have said sugar daddy, but like, man, I'm only thinking of like sugar daddy. Like
a handsome, fashionable older man.
That's a zaddy?
That's a zaddy.
A handsome, fashionable older man.
Yeah.
I hope I'm a zaddy one of these days.
You gotta get a little bit of gray hair.
I got it. I have a little bit of gray hair in the front of my beard already, man.
Yeah.
But
all right, I want to do one more.
Okay, one more.
Whip.
Whip?
She just pulled up in her new whip.
Oh, a whip is like is a new car that you're really proud of.
How do you know that?
Because I actually saw it on there was a video on YouTube of a guy who unknowingly drives he drives his new car on the highway, and he's so excited, he's like speeding through traffic, moving around, and he's like, I got my new whip, nothing can stop me now, and then he spins out of control and he like gets into a car accident. And he was okay, I think, because like he posted the video afterwards, but he's like, I got my new whip, I can't be stopped. That's how I got that. And I just saw that a couple days ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I think this is a good place to stop. We could do this forever, man.
Yeah.
But
it's fun.
If I want to ask you guys, so if you guys have any other slang that you've heard, please leave it in the comment box. And also remember, we if you guys want to have us try some sake, you can always leave a yurio chatto and we will buy it, or you can just recommend it for us and maybe we'll check it out.
Yeah.
We got chatto taisetsu no kura.
Chatto taisetsu no kura.
I'm
trying to sound French, but
no, it doesn't work, man.
That's how I imagine French people talking.
Can you I just want to hear, can you imitate Italian for me?
Oh yeah, Italian is really easy. It's just like you just got to do the flick of the wrist and then sound angry.
Okay. Sorry, man. I just got to do this last one. German. You do German?
Okay.
You just got to sound angry and then you're fine.
No, because I think that stereotype's kind of a little bit old and outdated.
Yeah.
What I imagine German Like, I can't speak German at all, but like when I imagine Germans, I imagine them like frustrated over mundane things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like that's how I imagine. Like, what do you mean we put out the trash on Tuesday at 8:35 a.m.? The sign clearly says 8:30.
Yeah.
Like that, like really mundane stuff, like Germans being upset.
Yeah,
like,
man. Dude, speaking of that, I know this is totally unrelated, but my dad showed me in like the 70s or something, he found a song of a French guy or German guy who sang a song in what he thought English sounded like. So it's not actually English, but he's like singing and thinking it's English. So I'll show you after we're done. But
you know, it's funny you mentioned that. Like before we sign off. So there's a really famous rock group called Rammstein.
Rammstein, yeah,
they're a really famous German like metal group, right? Who specifically make their songs for people who don't speak German. Yeah. Because they sound really hardcore and like really like, wow, this sounds so badass. But then you look at the lyrics for a lot of Rammstein songs and like the lyrics are just like talking about just like basic stuff.
Yeah, right. Right. And Rammstein is one of those.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So what are we talking about next time?
So next time we are going to be talking about stuff that you often buy in the US, but you actually can't find them here.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which I thought we were doing this time, but we're
next
doing the
time.
Slang.